You can see the torque go all the way up, and I'm at 3,000 RPM. It would be nice if the light was green. Alright. Hope you guys are having a fine night so far here. This is my second take. Woo! That's a deep one there. I have a couple lavalier mics, you know, those tiny ones. And they're supposed to be really good at picking up, you know, isolated noises and stuff. They're not the fancy ones. They're like the $50, $60 ones you can get off of like Amazon, you know. But I was trying to see if they're good at picking up engine noise from a cabin. And, well, word of advice, don't use a lavalier mic unless you're looking to talk in your car. I think they're okay with that. And to be honest, that's their actual use, is to pick up speech. But, yeah, we're out pretty late here. I don't know if you can see the time. 3 a.m., you know, perfect time for wild car activities. We're not going to be too wild today. We like to, you know, mitigate our risk. But I thought it'd be a fun idea to talk about some things. And, you know, obviously I think it's fun to see a car and all that. And I love vehicles. I like my BMW, little M240 tuned. 450, about 440 to 450 is what the tuner was claiming. By the way, I actually did all the physical mods myself. It's a first for me on any car. I was nervous of messing things up, but, you know, we've got 40,000 miles on those mods now, and it's just been doing pretty okay, so. But, yeah. I wanted to talk about, topic for today, I guess we can start off, is risk mitigation. First of all, I'm not condoning any breaking of laws. I'm not condoning, you know, anything that could bring you to harm to yourself. Please be safe in any and all activities you do in life, and please follow the rules, follow the law. And that being said, risk mitigation is an important thing to know if you are going to do some pretty crazy shit. It's an important thing to know to keep you safe, other people around you safe. Now, what is risk mitigation? Some of you may have actually heard about what it is. If you ever taken any driving course, or even like an NSF course, for example, to go like a motorcycle endorsement, at least in this state, they actually talk about risk mitigation pretty heavily. But what it is essentially is understanding two things. Those two things being the amount of risk you're taking and your own personal skill level. Now, the idea is you always take less risk than what your own personal skill level is. So instead of going off and thinking, I can cut that corner, or I can take that lane, or I can split this, because I know I'm capable. Instead, you go, oh, this is below my capabilities, if that makes a little bit of sense. Risk mitigation is a tool that people can use to still have fun and make sure that themselves and other people around them are safe. And it completely denounces the idea that you just go out and completely do stupid things just for the sake of it, just for an adrenaline rush. You can still have excitement, but there is some sort of moderation around it, So that's essentially what risk mitigation is. It's the idea of making sure you don't do something that's stupider than your ability to keep yourself secure and safe. I'm going to demonstrate some risk mitigation right here. As you can see, there's a pretty open road in front of me, and I'm going to go ahead and drop this into Sport Plus. Now, I know one thing, there's a curve coming up there, right? And I'm going to make sure that I'm not going too fast for it, and I'm taking a couple factors into note. It's 24 degrees outside Fahrenheit. The road is slightly damp. Things are starting to melt out a little bit here. And 3, the weight of the car, tires, tire wear. Those are things that you're likely going to be less accurate at knowing, but keeping an idea of those is still a good idea. But let's go ahead and give it some juice, shall we? Here we are on that curve. I let off. And one thing you don't want to do on a curve, for one, on the topic of risk, is you don't want to hit the brakes hard in the middle of a curve. What happens essentially is all that weight that's shifting on your car when you hit the brakes, first of all, goes forward, and then if, let's say, you're curving to the right, all that weight is going to force you to shift to the left. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't hit the brakes at all, actually, in terms of motorsport. And of course, I'm not any expert on this, so please don't take me as an expert on this. But there is actually something called trail braking. I know there's a couple other terms about it, whereas you do most of your braking before the corner, and then you do some of your braking in the corner, because putting a little bit of weight on that outside wheel and letting it dig into the asphalt can actually be beneficial. But where does it become too much, right? That's kind of the question. You got to know your vehicle, you got to know how it shifts its weight, and you got to know what you're capable of doing. You got to know how you're capable of reacting. Not everybody is the same, and if you want to have fun, please be safe. You're in a 1.5 to 2 ton hunk of metal moving relatively fast. I don't know if a lot of people are aware of this, but you can die going like 60 miles an hour. If you hit a barricade head on, that's it. Like that you're probably, I pray that anyone and everyone in a collision, and I pray that any of you watching this aren't going to be in that situation. But it is something that can be deadly, right? If you're on a motorcycle, a third of that, you got nothing around you, and you're just bare flesh out in the world. But yeah, that's my little conversation on risk and risk mitigation. I'm gonna see if I can find a couple underpasses here, or just a couple places. I'm going a little fast for having the windows down, but I'm gonna find a good spot and get some nice sound clips. That'd be pretty cool. I'm gonna do a quick little tidbit right here. This is actually one of my favorite little squirglies. Yeah, earlier too. It was earlier in the day when I was recording my clips with the lavalier. But there was like 7 cops in a 10-minute drive, so I was like, yeah, this is probably not the best idea right now. But yeah, let's see if you guys can get a little bit of this juice. We love loud cars, but you know, high flow downpipe and a resonator delete. They'll turn heads, but sometimes they'll turn heads of people you don't want to be looking. This little spot here has 200 passes right back to back. So let's see if we can get a couple braps and rooms here for you guys. Enjoy. I know everyone talks about the B58, but it is such a phenomenal motor. Oh my gosh. It sounds amazing, it performs amazing. Boost comes on at 2,000 RPM. There we go. You can see the torque go all the way up, and I'm at 3,000 RPM. I wasn't joking, you guys. It's crazy. And I'm talking almost max. Like it's a beautiful motor to own, honestly. 340, 240, 440, 540, or X3 M40. Those are all phenomenal choices to own. We got another one coming up right over here. First gear roll, wait for the boost to kick in a little more, right around half, and got somebody turning up there. We're good. Hoping you guys can hear the turbo. It's one of my favorite noises from this engine. It doesn't have, you know, the old-fashioned kind of sneeze off the end at the end of the blow off. It does have a nice little whoosh. Let's see if we can recreate it here. Well, the motor's too level. Going a little higher gear there. There we go. There we go. You can see the torque go all the way up, and I'm at 3,000 RPM. I wasn't joking, you guys. It's crazy. But yeah, let's see. Give it another whoosh here after this curve. And I'll keep it in auto. With shifts hit a little harder in Sport Plus and Sport transmission mode in auto. Like a car like this is so addicting. You really got to keep a grip on yourself, you know? And on the topic of risk mitigation, one thing that I really dislike about the common, you know, trend in the modern days of the car community are these kind of like big horsepower debates. I don't think people, like, let's be honest, most people are not around fast things. Most people really aren't, and that's normal, and that's perfectly fine, right? You can have a ton of fun with a Miata, but unless it's a relatively small SUV, or it's a BMW where they say it's 350 and turns out it's to the wheels. My point is, you know, a lot of people don't know this, and they don't know that you actually have to respect cars that are more capable than a normal vehicle, right? And it's not like this is, you know, making 7,000 horsepower, but like this is making around 450. It's a respectable amount, and you can end up doing something stupid and dangerous with that still. You see these kids coming up, and I can't entirely hate on them for that, because I used to be 16 and 17 too, right? But please be careful, you know? You gotta respect the vehicle, respect the machine, and have fun, but please be safe. 300 horsepower is actually plenty if you're just looking to have, you know, something that can get through traffic and put a smile on your face, realistically. I mean, I was smiling ear to ear at a car making 200 horsepower. It was heavier than this, you know? It'd be nice if the light was green. I have this little pouch with some camera and mic equipment here, and let's see if I can open this with one hand. Inside it, I have, well, my camera and mic equipment, and I had no idea that of that camera and mic equipment, this little guy right here was still on. This is a auto click, or like a ranged Bluetooth video starter, so I can, you know, be away from the phone and click this and start. It was on, and when I floored it, you know, for the good of the beans, wedged this whole pouch between my seat. And I was constantly telling my phone to start and stop recording, so that was fun. All right, my friendar radar. I call them my friendar because I don't know, just call them my friends. Was going off here, so we got a friend nearby. Yeah, I should take. Should I take the highway? I'm not gonna go back on the highway here. We'll take the fun way back, guys. It's 3 a.m. We can do whatever we want. So I've decided to take the highway back. Also, this road's a little bumpy, so I'm not gonna ring it out as much. Ring it out. It's a wild choice of words for flooring it. But yeah. Remember to ring it out, boys. Turn off a hose, there's still water in there. And make sure to wipe. A bidet is a phenomenal investment, by the way. Now we're talking about the risk mitigation of fecal matter on your behind. Alright. We're coming up on another squirrely here. Well, squirrely. First one was a little squirrely. This one's just us going through the roundabout until we get to the highway. See if I go back to sport transmission so I don't have to shift. Might slip a little here, but woo! Got a little up there, but we're okay. Thankfully, we didn't slip too much. I have X-Drive, which is phenomenal, by the way. Phenomenal investment in a cold state. It's still rural biased, which is great. But it didn't kick down at first. So that was actually pretty nice at that moment. So I didn't get all that juice making me dance all over the road. Dance tangents and directions I don't want to go. I apologize for the puns, guys. This is just how I am. I can't help it. Alright, guys, it has been an absolute blast having you guys here. Thank you for investing in this video and enjoying it so far. I'm going to leave you guys off with a quick little walk around of this beautiful Estoril Blue Metallic. Phenomenal paint color. I think they still make it for the G chassis. I'm not entirely sure about that, though. But, yeah. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment any of your thoughts. I'd love to hear what your guys' thoughts are on BMW V58s or just anything I mentioned in the video or not. But yeah, if you got anybody interested in car content, let them know about me. Love to spread the word a little bit. I will also be doing a few other things other than car content. Obviously starting off with the car here, but I have a few creative endeavors and artistic interests as well that I'd love to put out there and see how it affects people and their feelings and stuff too. But yeah, thank you again. Oh, and my name is Wali. It's pronounced Wali. It's an Arabic name, but I go by Wali and Wali, so no stress about the pronunciation. It's always love coming from here, no matter what. So you guys take care. Have a wonderful day, and assalamu alaikum.